By the end of March 2021, Ansar Allah was only 11 kilometers away from Maareb city. Clashes continue in al-Khashab mountain and al-Suwayda camp. It is said that the issue of ceasefire in Marib was also raised during the talks between the representatives of the two sides in Oman, but Ansar Allah representatives do not agree with the terms of the Saudi and Mansour Hadi and have rejected it. In the first week of April, clashes continued in the areas of al-Khashab mountain, Idat al-Ra, Tallat al-Hamra and the heights near Marib dam. Ansar Allah could liberate al-Khashab mountain after intense fighting, and the distance between the conflict lines from the western entrance of Marib city has reduced to 9 kilometers. Al-Ahkum area in the east of Taiz province has been cleared from the control of the Saudi-led forces. With the liberation of these areas, the Taiz-Adan road was under pressure from Ansar Allah, and in the coming days, Ansar Allah could cut off the important road and put Mansour Hadi's forces in Taiz city in serious danger. Also in Taiz front, Saudi-led forces attacked on different fronts in Mafar district west of Taiz province. The Saudi coalition warplanes targeted Ansar Allah positions in several districts in the provinces of Al-Jaf, Sadda, Al-Hajja and Al-Bayza. Yemeni armed forces announced the attack of 2 drones to King Khalid airbase in Khamis Mushait. In the second week of April, al-Harmali have been killed in a recent Ansar Allah rocket attack on Saudi coalition positions west of the city of Maareb. Al-Harmali was one of the senior commanders of Mansour Hadi's forces. Clashes continued in between Ansar Allah and Saudi-led forces in the western heights of Marib and Idat al-Ra and Al-Jaf province. The Saudi coalition warplanes bombed several districts in the provinces of Marib, Sadda, Al-Jaf and Al-Hajja during this week. The Saudi coalition, with the support and mobilization of Mansour Hadi's forces in Taiz and Tariq Saleh in Mocha, launched an operation in mid-March to capture the northern road to Taiz and reduce pressure on the Maareb fronts. These conflicts are still going on without any significant results. On April 11th, 1 month after the clashes on the western front of Taiz, the Saudi coalition forces' attempt to take control of the northern road of Taiz failed. Ansar Allah attacked Saudi coalition positions in Saudi Arabia using 15 drones and 2 missiles, 2 times in this week. Aramco facility in Jeddah and Al-Jubail have been targeted with 10 drones, and coalition military positions in Khamis Mushait and Jizzan with 5 drones and 2 missiles. In the third week of April, the spokesman for the Yemeni armed forces, Brigadier General Yahya Assari, announced a joint operation by Ansar Allah missiles and drones against Saudi coalition positions in Jizzan. According to the information provided, Ansar Allah attacked the Aramco company's facilities, Patriot systems and other sensitive military targets in Jizzan with 11 drones and missiles. Also, Ansar Allah fired 2 missiles at the Saudi coalition positions in Sahn al-Jim military camp in northern of Maareb city. These missile attacks were carried out in support of Ansar Allah ground attack in the 3 axes of Marib Dam, Zat al-Ra and al-Kharj al-Ayman heights. Ansar Allah, after several days of fighting, managed to liberate the Zina refugee camp on the western road of Maareb city and consolidate control over the Idat al-Ra and al-Khalfan mountain areas. Al-Suwayda refugee camp is also under the control of Saudi-led forces. The Saudi coalition uses refugees as human shields. Therefore, Ansar Allah refuses to attack the camp. The area of Hamat al-Hamra and al-Khashab mountain are empty of control by both sides, and Ansar Allah had these areas under his fire control. On April 18th, following the clashes between Mansour Hadi and UAE-backed Hizam al-Amni forces in the district of Ahwar, located in the south of Abyan province, the southerners accused the coalition and the resigned government of Mansour Hadi of not adhering to the provisions of Riyadh's agreement. The tensions have also spread to Aden, and dozens of vehicles carrying Mansour Hadi's troops have entered Crash, following the arrival of southern militants in the Crash area of Lahij province. Clashes between Ansar Allah and Saudi-led forces continued in the western fronts of Maareb. Salem Saleh Balkafli, one of the field commanders of the Al-Qaeda terrorist group and the head of the operations of the 1st Brigade of Mansour Hadi forces, was killed by Ansar Allah in the clashes west of the city of Maareb. On April 21st, according to the latest updates on Maareb front, Mansour Hadi's forces, under heavy support of Saudi coalition warplanes, launched attack against Ansar Allah positions in Wadi Nakhla, Zat al-Ra and Idat al-Ra. which resulted in Ansar Allah's retreat from Zat al-Ra, but Saudi-led forces could not stabilize their control on the area and the conflicts continued. On Balak mountain front, conflicts continued, and despite the news of the liberation of the heights of the area, Ansar Allah had not liberated Balak al-Kabli mountain yet. Saudi coalition warplanes have bombed the front lines in Maareb, with the Zina refugee camp being one of the areas bombed by the coalition and the front lines in Hajjab province. Following Ansar Allah's getting closer to Marib town gates, tribes opposing Saudi coalition and the recent government policies and activities are showing their protests more. On the last week of April, Ansar Allah has launched a heavy offensive against the positions of Saudi-led forces in Zat al-Ra and Talat al-Hamra areas in the eastern front of the Sarwa district. Also, Ansar Allah used suicide drones to target important and sensitive positions at the King Khalid airbase in Khamis Mushait and Aramco facility in Jizzan with drones 3 times in this week. On April 25th, Ansar Allah and Popular Committee's forces captured the strategic heights of Talat al-Hamra and the surrounding heights in the west of Maareb city. The Saudi-led forces backed by Saudi warplanes have launched a heavy attack on Talat al-Hamra area, which has so far failed with Ansar Allah resistance, and clashes continue in these areas. Ansar Allah has succeeded in liberating the important area of Talat al-Hamra after 3 days of heavy fighting. The Ansar Allah is now only about 6 kilometers away from Maareb gates and has strategic heights. Can Ansar Allah capture Maareb city in the upcoming weeks of May? Tell us your opinions in the comments below. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.